Big shout out to Marvelous Mo out this motherfucker. And you definitely better be back on your bullshit.
Homies with me this time. Y'all already know I'm back on my bullshit. You know the situation that I make the people feel like celebrating that I be watching you while you be contemplating that.
I wouldn't say I'm an OG compared to everyone else. I know a lot of dudes that's coming out right now, but they've been around. Like Red Cafe, he been around. I've known Cafe trying to get on for at least 10 years. You know what I'm saying? But he seems to be new because he's just now starting to really get acknowledged for his grind. You know what I'm saying? But he's been around for a while, so I wouldn't say that I'm an OG to all of them, but you know, I'm definitely, you know, one that can offer a lot to a lot of these new dudes.
Doing what I got to get this paper, hustling.
Because the game is something that has been real good to me, and I love it, and I'm a fan of it, and you know, I do things that it just feels right for me to do. Like I don't understand the retire thing. I don't think I'll ever retire. I think there's gonna be times in my life where there's gonna be a time at some point in my life where I feel like I don't want to play the same role in hip hop that I'm playing now, as far as the obligations that have to be fulfilled once you are an artist signed to a major label deal. I'm gonna probably wanna be one of them niggas that do the Quincy Jones shit, and you know, I ain't really putting out an album unless I feel like it, and if it's a, you know, like a Busta Rhymes and Friends joint, like a Q's Juke joint, you know what I'm saying, I can do that shit whenever I feel like I'm fucking around and get a Grammy for it, just because I had leisure time to go in the studio and bullshit with some of my good friends and fellow comrades in this music shit. When you always got a love for something, retiring is never really in the equation, because at some point you dibble and you dabble in it still, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've never really been able to wrap my head around that whole retirement thing yet. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm just now pressing the restart button.
When the club dog ain't no friend, 100,000 weeks.
It's fake retiring Jay-Z's fault. Yeah, it might be Jay-Z's fault. I don't really think he planned on doing the fake retirement thing, though. See, Hov was always a dude that had other things going on. He's never been a slave to this hustle as a result of having other things. So if he wants to retire, he honestly would. But I think he was just so dope at what he did. The people wasn't letting that happen. You know what I'm saying? And secondly, it's like, there's a certain pleasure that you get from this shit. As much as the frustrations that come with it are, you still get a certain level of fulfillment doing this shit that you just ain't gonna get nowhere else, man. You know what I mean? So sometimes, man, coming out of the retirement is because, you know, you never really wanted to retire, but you felt you needed to. And, you know, when you see that overwhelming love that you can't put a price on from the people, you gotta continue to come back and do this shit for the people, because ultimately that's what we doing it for.
2 days, 4 shows, 3 flights. Gucci Man, Busta Bud, DJ play it loud. Jury so loud, think we need to turn it down. A-Town Hawk shit, New York Knicks shit.